Here's some information you'll need for the video. These 5 lines are called the staff. Say staff. The sentence to remember the lines is empty garbage before dad flips. For the spaces, it's F-A-C-E. This is an eighth note, eighth rest, dotted quarter note. Without the dot, it's a quarter note. Another pair of eighth notes, half note, quarter note. So I'm going to start asking you some questions. Number 1, what kind of note is this? This is an eighth note. How many beats is an eighth note? An eighth note is half of a beat. This one is counted as and. Ready, go. And. How many beats is the dotted quarter note? A dotted quarter note is 1.5 beats. How many eighth notes is in 1.5 beats? Since an eighth note is a half of a beat, 3 times a half is 1.5. So there are 3 eighth notes in a dotted quarter note. What if it was just a quarter note without the dot? How many beats is a quarter note? Quarter note is 1 beat. How many eighth notes are in a quarter note? There are 2 eighth notes in a quarter note because a half times 2 is 1. We'll put the dot back. What kind of note is this? This is a half note. How many beats is a half note? Half note is 2 beats. How many eighth notes are in a half note? Since the eighth note is half of a beat, a half times 4 is 2. So a half note has 2 beats or 4 eighth notes. What kind of note is this? This is also an eighth note. This is an eighth note, that's an eighth note. What part of the note is this? This is the flag. What's this? That's a stem. What part of the note is this? That's the head. What is this? This is a beam. That's also a beam. What kind of notes are beamed together? Eighth notes. What are these lines? These are vertical lines. These lines, this is called a bar line. Bar lines divide the music up into groups of beats. What do you call these groups? The bar lines divide the music into measures. This is measure 1, measure 2, and each measure in this song is a group of 4 beats. And what do you call this? This is a tie. So a tie connects 2 notes as one. What kind of note is this? It's a half note. How many beats is a half note? 2. What kind of note is this? This is an eighth note. How many beats is an eighth note? A half. What's 2 plus a half? It's 2.5. So 2.5 beats. How many eighth notes are in 2.5 beats? There are 5 eighth notes in there. This goes 3 and 4 and 1. 3 and 4 and 1. Let's clap that. Ready, go. 3 and 4 and 1. It's all in one clap. It's all one note. 2.5 beats or 5 eighth notes. What kind of note is this? Dotted quarter. How many beats again? 1.5 beats. This one's counted as 2 and 3. Let's do that. Ready, go. 2 and 3. What kind of rest is this? This is a quarter rest. What kind of rest is this? This is also a quarter rest. I say this is an eighth rest. How many beats is an eighth rest? An eighth rest is a half of a beat. How many eighth rests are in a quarter rest? Since an eighth rest is a half of a beat, a half times 2 is 1. So a 1 beat rest, which is a quarter rest, has 2 eighth rests in it. And let's clap and count. Ready and count. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go through the notes on the handbells. So we're going to start with this note. What letter is this? If you went F-A-C-E, F-A-C, this is a C. Here's a C. So, on what beat do we start this C? This C starts on and, the and of 4. Where would it stop if there was a rest after this measure bar? It would stop on 1. So, this is counted as and 1. Let's do that. Ready, go. And 1. By the way, is this a thumb plate? This is not a thumb plate. Hand goes down here. But the plate does show you the letter name and it shows the placement of the note on the staff. You should never have to ask me what note, where the note is on the staff. It's right there. And it shows the octave number, which is 5. Let's go to this note. What letter is this? If we go empty garbage before Dad flips, empty garbage, this is a G. On what beat do we play the G? The G rings on the and of 3. On what beat do we stop the G? The G stops on 4, where the rest is. So this will go and 4. Try that. Ready, go. And 4. One more time. Ready, go. And 4. Be very specific where you end the notes. What letter is this dotted quarter note? If you go empty garbage before Dad, you get D. So on what beat do we start the D? This D starts on beat 2. On what beat do we stop the D? The D stops on the and of 3. So this note is counted as 2 and 3 and. You have to be very specific. You stop the bell on and. Let's do that with your imaginary tone chime. Ready, go. 2 and 3 and. So there's your D. Let's go back another note. On what beat? In fact, let me ask another question. What's the letter name of that note? F-A-C-E. This is C. On what beat do we ring the C? The C rings on and, the and of 1. On what beat do we stop it? We stop the C on 2. So we're going to go and 2. So you go 2. Do that. Ready? Go. 2. Let's go and 2. Ready? Go. And 2. Remember, you're always keeping a circular motion. So that's your C. Let's go to this note. What letter name is this note? This is an A. How many? So when do we start ringing the A? The A starts on beat 3 because it's 1 and 2 and 3. When do we stop ringing the A? When do we put the stop? We stop it on the and of 1, right here, because this is 2.5 beats. So watch this. 2 and 3 and 1 and. We stop it on the and of 1. Watch. And. Do that. Ready? Go. And. Let's do this together with your imaginary tone chime. Ready? Go. 2 and 3 and 1 and. Let's do it again. Ready? Go. 2 2 and 3 and 1 and. So there's your A. Let's go to this note. What letter is that? F-A-C-E. This is an F. On what beat do we ring the F? We hit the F on and, the and of 1. When do we stop it? We stop it on 2. Watch this. And 2. Ready, go. And 2. What about this note? What letter is that? It's the same, it's F. On what beat do we start this F? We start this F on beat 1. On what beat do we stop it? We don't stop it. Because remember I said, if you go from a letter to the same letter, there's no stop. If you go from a letter to a rest, you stop it. If you go from a letter to a different letter, you stop it. But to the same letter, you don't stop it. So we hit it on 1, we play it again on and then we stop it on 2. Specifically, 2. Ready and go. And 1 and 2. Ready and go. And 1 and 2. So, let's clap and count the whole thing. Remember, you need to count. You need to count out loud. Every beat, even the ones you don't play. Ready and count. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's clap and count backwards. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's say the letters. Ready, go. F, F, A, C, D, G, C. Let's go backwards. C, G, D, C, A, F, F. And let's answer some questions again. How many beats is an eighth note? A half. How many beats is a half note? 2 beats. How many eighth notes in 2 beats? 4. Because a half, there are 4 halves in 2, or a half times 4 is 2. How many beats is a quarter note? 1 beat. How many eighth notes in a quarter note? Since a half times 2 is 1, a quarter note gets 1 beat. And what do we call this? This is a tie. Let's do some practice rounds now. We're going to start with F. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do this one. What letter is that? This is an A. Ready and count. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And I think I told you before, stems can go down. They could either go upward or downward. If they go up, they're on the right side of the note. If they go down, they're on the left side of the note. Beams will be on an angle if the notes move upward or downward. Let's do the next letter. Next one is C. Ready and go. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we have one more. What letter is this? This is D. Empty garbage before Dad flips. D. Ready? And go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Are you counting out loud? I hope so. Let's go backwards. Ready? And go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and.